Welcome. Wow, I sound like a haggard popcorn dispenser woman.
Welcome to Existential Crisis. The year is 2084.
That's what it feels like in my bones. I will tell you. So I usually do a dance church plug on Wednesday. That wasn't one of the plugs we discussed.
Shit.
Damn it. I do a dance church on Wednesday, but today I had a meeting that went over, and so I was like, you know what? Instead of doing a fun exercise activity, I'll just take a nap. And because it had already started, and so I took a nap, and I woke up to my phone going ding, and Colin going, "Hey, you ready to record?"
Oh no!
I'm so glad you sent that text though, because I was out here thinking, I'm self-control. I have self-control. I don't.
Sure. I mean, who does nowadays? But like, I definitely was like, when 6 o'clock rolled around, I was like, I feel like Sarah's normally on top of this and always beats me to the punch here, and I am a little late. I'm a little late, and she's nowhere to be found. Something is wrong. So
that's so sweet. That's so sweet that you think I'm on top of things. So sweet and misguided.
I mean, in this one particular instance.
I'm very
recording
timely.
A podcast from home.
Yes, I'm very timely when it comes to recording a podcast in my own home.
Yeah,
that
if you
is
just
true.
imagine everything was recording a podcast in your own home, you might be so much further in life.
I am usually on time for things. I will say that, but anything more than that is a mess. Like I can't do anything else. I forget things. I don't know what's going on. I completely forget entire conversations.
I feel like I forget entire days, especially lately. Like at work, we have basically a check-in every week where people talk about their weekends, and I have to think so hard about what I did when I get to Monday. I'm just like, I think, okay, well, I was here, and did I leave? Did I ever leave? I don't know. I really don't know.
You're still there, Talon. You're still there right now.
No.
Ooh.
I hate being on time for things.
I've noticed.
And I think good. I'll make this my platform to say it. I'm not just late because I tried to be on time and couldn't. I am deliberately late. I hate being on time.
What?
Especially at parties. And Elena always wants to be
on
at
time.
The party on the dot. And I'm like, no one's there yet. What are you talking about?
You know what? The next time I throw a party and I'm in that horrible phase, there's always 20, when you are responsible for throwing a party, there's always this horrible 20 minutes after the hour where you're like, no one is going to come, no one likes me, and you feel like crying in your prom dress. Sure. I'm going to take a picture of my own face and send it to you so that you feel the impact of your choices.
Do it. And it's so true. Elena, the same way. If we threw a party, back when we threw parties, if we ever did that and it rolled to 7 o'clock and no one was there yet, it would be upsetting. And
Game
I'm
over.
Like, they're gonna be here. It's fine.
No, they won't. They're never coming.
Fashionably late is where it's at. Well, I'm gonna be on time, so I have to wait for the other people who are late before I can do anything. Yeah, right. Please.
I'm gonna be that late person.
I'm gonna be late. The party starts when I show up.
I feel we're not making this into a Black Eyed Peas song. It's not.
Okay, sure we're not.
That was Black Eyed Peas. That wasn't just Will.i.am, right?
That was Black Eyed Peas.
Okay. I mean, that was Will.i.am saying that, but that was not one of his solo ventures. Anyways, I completely forgot what I was going to say, so never mind.
Okay, well, that's okay, because I have a new topic. Are we ready for a Black Eyed Peas biopic? Is America ready? Is now the time?
I think we're going to need to give it another. I think they're going to be one of those bands that retrospectively, looking in retrospect, we will be like, they shaped the early 2000s and the aughts, as they're called.
Boom Boom Pow was the yellow submarine of our generation.
It kind of was. And I say that, I need to say something controversial. You had a controversial, I have a controversial opinion. I would listen to the Black Eyed Peas over the Beatles any goddamn day of the week.
I mean, I'm not someone who holds the Beatles on a pedestal. I appreciate them, but I guess I would rather listen to, if I had to choose between the two for some reason.
What's going to get me rocking and bopping faster? Black Eyed Peas.
When I'm 64.
Hands down. Hey.
now a good time to mention that I have at some point in my life listened to a cappella Beatles jukebox musical because I am 100% that bitch. Whatever that bitch is, that is the bitch I am.
You are. Wow.
You know what? It slapped.
You are something else, buddy. I don't think you're allowed to use the word slapped in reference to a Beatles jukebox musical. I'm sorry.
A cappella Beatles jukebox musical.
I rescind your ability to use that word. I'm
entirely
sorry.
Sung through Hamilton style. Les Mis style. No dialogue.
No.
Audio only.
I feel
Audio only.
Is this what dying feels like?
Mulaney.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah.
But it's, the world is kind of horrible, is it not?
I look back at myself a lot, and it was pretty horrible. But not as horrible as the world.
No, you're not horrible. You have some passions that I don't understand. And that's okay. What? Isn't that friendship?
Yes, because same to you. And I've been in the thrall of your controlling of a YouTube watch along, and the rabbit holes you have gone down are twisted.
Yeah, they're messed up. Are you talking about the rummaging man?
Oh yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, things I have never dreamed of in my wildest nightmares.
Oh, I'm so glad I could be that for you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Man.
Hey.
You seen any good YouTubes lately?
Hey. I haven't.
No.
Hey, we're in Portland, Oregon.
That is a place we are. Most of the time.
And there's something crazy going on.
All right, well, it's a little crazy.
I would say it's full on like dystopian future crazy.
Yeah. I can't remember if I talked about it on the pod or off the pod, but before, things were already pretty wild. Like, Elena and I had ridden down to Portland and just looked around, and it was just, it was a very disheveled Portland, Oregon. And I'm not, like, mad about it. I'm just like, this is impressive. Like,
yeah.
This is a battleground for sure. And then it got worse when the Customs and Border Patrol departments made themselves at home here. And if you haven't seen, good, I hope you can be made aware. And if you have seen, sorry for repeating information you already know. But there are basically the army. The army is here. I think that's basically true to say. Yeah,
we're essentially being occupied by federal forces right now. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty scary to see. Like, as a Portland resident, I had not felt threatened until now. Like, I feel like the PPB was out of hand, but that was like, when is the PPB not out of hand?
Boom.
And all of a sudden now we've got federal troops in downtown shooting at peaceful protesters and breaking their skulls open. And nobody cares.
And it does feel like Portland is being used as a test right now, which is wild. I just have not seen that future for me. So that's weird to just be in. But yeah, hopefully, I think what people in Portland would want to happen is for more attention to be on this and to do whatever can be done to make sure it is, not okayed. Like, boo, hiss,
boo, hiss.
Sign some petitions. Because it's starting in Portland. This is a direct order from the president, and it could very well be happening elsewhere if it keeps happening here and is deemed any sort of success.
Yeah, and also go Portland for making such a ruckus.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why we were picked specifically. I do have
a cesspool of
liberal,
democratic,
yeah,
unpatriotic, non-family-based
Flag
values.
steppers.
Ah.
Gah.
Yeah. We are the devil your grandparents dream about at night.
Your grandparents dream about me? That's kind of sweet.
It's kind of sweet. But yeah, I mean, I can't say that I found out about this firsthand. I haven't been downtown at the protests recently, and that was for various reasons. But I'm only hearing about it because people are making noise about it. And if you're only hearing about it because we're making noise about it, please make more noise about it and think about how many other people are not hearing about it. Google it. Look at the research. Do the details. And look at the research.
Nailed it.
I said.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I'm on the spot. I'm on my soapbox, and it is.
It's high up there. It's real high
soap
up there.
is slippery, is what they don't tell you, and the residue is all over the place. And Portland is wet.
Portland's wet as fuck.
But I don't really have anything directly actionable to say other than
watch.
Make noise.
Yeah, make noise and watch. Like, keep your eyes on us. Scary times are afoot, my friends.
Yeah, and if needed, we will keep reporting on it, I guess. But that's not really what this podcast is. But if that's what it has to be, then fine. You know.
And we figure we slip it into our comedy podcast, and other people slip it into their podcasts.
Yeah, that's the only way. What if communication in this post-apocalyptic future we are driving toward is just all podcast based, and people send coded messages inside of podcast?
You're really doing a good job as framing podcasters as the
the heroes of the rebellion.
Yeah.
Yes, podcasters will lead the way.
I don't know if I would cast us as that.
I will follow Sarah Koenig into battle. I will march alongside the McElroy brothers.
I hate this. This is just like Super Hulock all over again. I want to kill myself.
Well, whenever Sarah says that, it's probably a good time to start.
You caught my eye in the grocery line, and I fancied myself a man worth your time, and I couldn't help thinking I wish you were mine, a man-seeking woman who's total is 589. Well, I don't do this often. I'm not like the guys, which is why I find myself in a sort of great existential crisis.
Welcome to Craig's Existential Crisis, as I said at the top of the show. But if you missed it, there it is. Now you feel welcomed. Welcome. We are a deep dive through the misconnection section of the world's favorite list, and a deeper dive into ourselves. And if you don't know, the misconnection section of Craigslist is like a place. That's not even words anymore. You never do that. You ever just you ever get tongue tied? The misconnection section of Craigslist is like a place for personal ads about chance encounters that the writers didn't get a chance to act on in the moment, so they post them to the internet here in hopes of connecting, and we cherry pick the best ones, and we go to town on them.
Ooh,
baby.
can I put a corporation on roast right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said cherry, which made me think, here's the deal. So
Yeah.
because I've been going to should I say that on podcast? I don't want to get arrested. Because I've been around large crowds shouting with other people.
Sure.
I've been very strictly quarantining, right? So I've been really trying not to leave the house or see anyone. And so part of that is I've been ordering groceries from a corporation called Schmedschmeyer. And sometimes they'll be out of the thing you want, so they'll like swap something out. And it's usually just like a brand swap, so it's fine. So like ordered cherries because it's a hot summer's day in July, whatever month it is.
The summer months.
And I ordered cherries, and they were like, "Do you want to approve your swaps?" And I was like, "Yeah, this it's fine. I'm sure it's fine." And I didn't look at them, which was my fault. But then somebody thought that the perfect swap for a delicious, ripe Portland, Oregon cherry would be a vine of cherry tomatoes.
Oh,
do you know how disappointing though? I don't even like cherry tomatoes. I got to use them for target practice.
Oh, no.
Anyone know of any racist monuments in Portland I could throw these at? Because I don't have any use for them.
They're going to have to be a little bit smaller than full-scale monuments because cherry tomatoes are tiny.
Yeah. Or the person only is a little bit racist.
Or, yeah.
Am I allowed to make that joke? I don't know.
The tomato size should be roughly equivalent to how racist they were.
Yes. Like, did they have like a friend of a friend that owned slaves? Let me throw tiny little tomatoes at them.
Alexander Hamilton gets cherry tomatoes.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Well, certainly there are people who deserve bigger tomatoes than Alexander Hamilton.
I'm not
saying he's perfect, but
isn't that a song in the musical? Certainly, there's a man who deserves bigger tomatoes than Alexander Hamilton.
It was cut, but it's on the mixtape and it's covered by the Black Eyed Peas.
It bops.
Yeah, I'm a beat. Anyway, this is the podcast.
We should
start.
We should start. I have one for you.
Okay.
We don't have to suffer like this any longer.
Yeah, we'll get you to what you want. And I'm sure there's...
Which is the misconnections.
Listen, if you fast forward the first 20 minutes of our podcast and get right to the misconnections, I see you.
That's fascinating to me.
I see you right now.
That's fascinating.
It's happened. Have I done it with other podcasts? Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe, but sometimes.
Sometimes I listen to podcasts so it feels like I have friends.
Right. And hey, you know what? If you're listening to us, you are our friend. I'm going to read this misconnection now.
I just choked on my own spite because that was funny.
Leave it in. Okay, here we are. Zebra. Mount Tabor. It was a dark Saturday evening. The skies were lit with infinite sparkles. It was magical. And then I heard you. You were faint at first, and I couldn't quite make out what you were saying. But your cries got louder, and eventually I heard you loud and clear. Zebra! There was nothing more real for me in that instant, and all I wanted to do was yell it back in return. Zebra! But I was scared, excited, nervous, in love. Please, if you read this, call me and let's get together for the zebra.
Sometimes when you're on this forum, you just come across a little nugget of gold. Like, wasn't like the writing of that was not too flowery,
No,
wasn't
perfect.
too pretentious. It kept you engaged, and it was exciting and sweet. It had a turn.
Yeah, you know what? I'd read more. I'd read a whole book if this person wrote it.
I would, and I also Mount Tabor's right near my house, and I want to just send out a call. I'm gonna go ahead.
Man.
What?
Yes, please do that.
I just want to send out a call. Hey guys, if you want me to facilitate this meeting, I'm down. Let's do this. I will be mediator. I will stand there, make sure nobody's a serial killer. I'm happy to do that.
How would you make sure that nobody is a serial killer?
I would plant myself alone on a park bench.
Right.
But with a knife.
Well, what if this serial killer's MO isn't people who are alone on park benches? What if what if they're kinky,
What's kinkier than being alone on a park bench?
You're right. What was I thinking?
I don't know. You're just
How close
so
are you
wrong.
to Mount Tabor? Could you yell zebra from your home and see if these people find their way to you, and you just have to? It's like Marco Polo, but like.
I'm not close enough that I am very loud.
You are very loud.
I'm very loud. It's one of my superpowers. I can yell so loud that I can physically cut off oxygen to my brain and almost black out. Like that's how loud I am.
Why do you know that?
Because I think we've had this discussion on here before. Because I have almost the closest I've ever come to blacking out was because I was yelling during an improv show.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I was just putting forth a lot of energy into the crowd,
What if you did?
I saw tunnel vision. Like I didn't know quite what that had meant, and the edges went black. And I've done it a couple times in my life, and it is dangerous. Like, what if I blacked out from yelling so loud? Is that what you're about to say?
I am thinking about if I was at that show and that just if I didn't know you, if I was just watching an improv show, and someone got so loud that they just collapsed, And like you'd probably think it was a bit if you were watching it. You'd be like, "Oh, you'd laugh, I think." And then like a minute would go by, and I don't know how long you'd be blacked out for. I guess
I probably
you
would
could
have
come
pooped myself.
I don't know about that. Why would that be part of it?
Because you lose control of your bowels sometimes when you lose consciousness like that.
I guess so.
I think I would at least pee myself. I also often have to poop immediately before going on stage at shows, so I'm just thinking like I'm locked and loaded.
It's not funny, but it is.
It's so funny that you are crying right now, and you are wishing that you had just been just a bystander.
I wouldn't wish it to you.
I wish we'd met in college. That would have been cool if we met in college.
Well, we can make it happen. We can.
Wow.
Go back in time. I'm sure that'll be commercially available soon.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We'll go back in time and meet each other in college, and it'll all be good. I just, we're just like I know when you're in your 20s, you're not like a real person. Like people in their 30s are gonna look at us and be like, no, you're not. But like, like in college, you're not a fully formed person yet, right? So like, it would have just been funny to meet before you're fully formed people. You know how that goes?
Yeah. Definitely. All the people I met before they were fully formed people, and you look at them now, and it's just like, whoa, how?
Two blobs of Play-Doh just hanging out. Anyways, zebra.
I think you should find some time to head to Mount Tabor, or anyone at Mount Tabor in the Mount Tabor area. Just go ahead and yell zebra sometime and see what happens. Maybe we can just start this weird thing where people yell zebra at each other at Mount Tabor. If that's my legacy, I'm okay with it.
But and also like on the flip side of that, I have a haunting feeling. Anyone have a dog named Zebra?
Ooh,
I have, or anyone know anyone who has a dog named Zebra? Because let me tell you, there's one main reason why I'd be walking through a park yelling zebra, and it's because my dog's name is Zebra.
Damn, this took a turn.
That's a hot take, huh?
Yeah. Well, I hope Zebra was found. I'll tell you, if I had seen a missing poster for an animal named Zebra, you bet I'd take notice. So.
You bet I'd be confused as to whether it was a dog or a zebra missing.
You bet I'd stop and get a second look.
I don't just exude himbo energy. I am himbo energy.
We are all himbo. All right. I have sent you something that actually our good pal Warren McHenry sent me. Actually, that's not true. He did send me one, but it's not this one. This is one I found elsewhere, though.
All on your own.
Here's the skinny. Not all on my own, either. I have resorted to the dark web, Reddit, to...
Colin... You are outsourcing your duties as a harvester of misconnections.
We ask people to send us misconnections every episode. We've always been outsourcing this duty. And you know what? We had not done a podcast in a bit. Sorry about that, by the way.
Yeah, we totally just don't never take us for granted because we could leave at any moment.
Lesson.
Don't
we
take
could be
us
gone
for
at
granted.
any moment.
If you love us, cherish us.
Cherish us. Yeah, I just I needed to see like a best of what the time frame we had missed. So, and to be fair, this isn't even a misconnection. But you know what? Our name isn't Misconnection Central Crisis. It's Craigslist Crisis, and I think all Craigslist is fair game.
You're really making a strong argument here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because I felt bad when I did it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to explain myself.
You feel bad. You should feel bad. Okay.
I should feel ashamed. Anyway, here it is.
Attention, WW, the BBLKD experience. I hate you for making me read this. That was an ad-lib by Sarah. Sorry, I'll get back to the post now. Women only. Well travel for your comfort. The big black experience. You only live once. The big black experience. Must try. For more detailed info on the big black experience. Serious. Ladies only. Tell a friend. Leave name, phone number. Women only. Well travel for your comfort. Older women recommended. You only live once. The big black experience is waiting for you. Serious women, only women, only women, only. Will only response to phone numbers only. I can't wait.
Tell me that wasn't worth it.
It almost is like a poem. Like it has all the things that a poem requires. Like it's got some rhythm. Like this person, although they don't write with what one would call quote unquote correct punctuation or grammar. They
Right.
do. There is a rhythm to it. It's not just
yeah.
like a dry post. Like there's some rhythm, there's some repetition. Like
Yeah.
I was really getting into the vibe with the serious women only. Like that felt good to read out loud. It really did.
It sounded good, And
Thank you.
I know you said you hated me for making you read this, but honestly, I'm so glad you did. You brought so much life to it. I can see it as a poem, but I also hear it as like a 1920s newsie on the street corner trying to sell a pape.
Women only. Well, travel for your comfort. The big
Well,
black
travel
experience.
for your comfort, the big black experience. X-ray, X-ray, women only. Serious ladies only. Tell a friend.
I'm also wondering if attention WW is white women.
Ooh, yeah, I hadn't figured that out and cracked that code.
I think possibly. Also, there is in the title, it says the BBLK, so the big black BLK, D experience.
Yeah.
Slipping
What
a
is
little
D, do you think?
D. I wonder what D is.
What do you think D is?
Dinner. He just wants to make you dinner.
A big black dinner. It's like it's a My Big Greek Fat Wedding spinoff.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding. The sequel is just Big Black Dinner.
My Big Fat Black Dinner.
It almost I think if you pitch that possibly to Tyler Perry, he would fund it for you.
Yeah, you know what? If anyone out there can get me in touch with Tyler Perry, or maybe Mr. Perry, if you are listening, if you are a fan, first off, thank you. Big fan of you. I hadn't seen.
First off, thank you.
I haven't seen any of the Medeas, but I hear they're great. And if I do love your work in Gone Girl. You had a very calming presence in that film.
Wait, he was in Gone Girl?
He is in Gone Girl. Have you not seen Gone Girl?
I have seen Gone Girl. That's I've only seen it once. I watched it on a plane.
And you guess this is before you knew who Tyler Perry was?
No, okay. I think everyone comes out of the womb knowing who Tyler Perry is. Number one, I'm just going to say that.
They use Tyler Perry to teach the letter T in school.
It is, though, ridiculous that Tyler Perry, like, he has, like, the total cornerstone on, like, black film. Like, he was the black filmmaking and production corner. Like, he churns out so many movies.
You're not wrong, and I hate it. Like, that's a thing. I feel like when people think of black movies, they think, oh, like Tyler Perry movies. Like, I mean, there's other movies with black people. They're not all Tyler Perry,
Oh, what?
I know. And I think that was a joke for a while. Like, you could put Tyler Perry's in front of any movie that stars black people. Tyler Perry's 12 Years a Slave. And it's like, there are other people. He's just the only one who, like, built his own film studio.
Which is crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, he has, like, yeah, because doesn't he, like, he kind of controls the means of production, too. Like, he, like, from the, like, it's not like he writes movies and sells them. It's like he, like, writes movies and then he, like, owns enough stuff that, like, he produces the whole thing. It's crazy.
It's a weird audience, a weird specific audience. Because I wouldn't say it's all black people. Because, again, I haven't seen very many Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah.
But it is exactly black ants. Black ants and uncles.
It feels, yeah. Well, it feels like, he makes, like, comedies and then he also makes, like essentially Lifetime movies that actually go to theaters.
Yes.
Instead of festering on TV. Well, I mean, they do eventually fester on TV, but they first get to live their lives in movie theaters.
Ashes to ashes.
Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry.
Yes. Anyway, if you are listening, you're probably not listening anymore. I mean, you got this tongue lashing, and now it's. Why would you listen?
Oh, Tyler. Anymore? Oh shit. I forgot. I'm sorry. Okay, yes.
Fuck. Well, I mean, if you did continue listening, listen. I'll watch a Medea movie. I'm not above it. It's just like I live in a very white part of the country, so I don't have anyone to go with me. No one's gonna come with me to the Tyler Perry movie.
Are you asking Tyler Perry to go with you to a movie?
I wasn't, but if he would, I'd see it.
Oh, don't cry, Talon.
I'm not crying. I'm Fine. Send me a misconnection.
Okay. I'm really fascinated by Tyler Perry. That's all I wanted to say.
He was also in Star Trek, and it was very jarring because you're so used to seeing him in a funny wig and glasses and a dress.
Which Star Trek was? I've only seen one of them. Was he in the first one?
Yeah.
See, I don't.
He's got like, it's not like a cameo; it's a role. He's got like 2 scenes, but it's Tyler Perry. It's so clearly Tyler Perry. Maybe black people are born with the ability to recognize Tyler Perry outside of the Medea costume, but it's so weird to see him in things that aren't Tyler Perry movies. And actually, in Gone Girl, I thought he was the best part of Gone Girl.
Okay, I have seen Gone Girl once on a plane. I love the book. The book's one of my favorite books. Who is he in the movie? What is his role?
Oh God, is he the lawyer, like TV lawyer? What, like the black, or like PR person? What is he exactly? It's been a while since.
So he's on what's his name side? Matt. Is that Matt Damon in that one?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
You can't tell Ben Affleck and Matt Damon apart. I mean, it is hard.
I actually cannot. I am very poor at that. So that one's Ben Affleck. So he's on Ben Affleck's side. He's like Ben Affleck's PR guy. Okay.
Yeah.
This is ringing a vague bell.
Yeah.
Because I definitely have seen the movie, right? I think so. I've definitely read the book. I like the book. I've read the book a couple times.
Is it possible you just read the book a couple times and you had seen that they were starring in the movie and just plugged their faces into your brain?
Honestly, that is very possible. You just and yet that is very possible. That's why I can watch or read books so much, is because it's like I'm watching a movie in my head, which is something I recently realized not everyone has that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have that. I try, but I feel like a book is much slower than a movie.
I just think brains are weird, like, and some brains don't operate on a visual basis. Like some brains, True. Like if you were to read a book, you would hear a voice reading the words in your head, which I don't hear at all. I just see pictures, movie type pictures. Anyways,
good.
Psychology.
Okay.
Sorry, I set you into disconnection.
Yeah, back to the podcast.
Sorry, Tyler Perry.
Anyway, please hit me up. Rebecca Brady, originally from Gresham, Portland. Hey, we dated a long time ago. You dislocated your elbow snowboarding with me and got mad at me when I went through the park to hit the jumps on the way down to see if you were all right. I have 3 daughters who were quite young when we met. You drove a Honda CRX, and your mom did arts and crafts and sold them. We got in touch a while ago and never reconnected, as there was an issue you were concerned about. If you know Rebecca, or Becca, who used to be Brady, or possibly still is Brady, let her know that this ad is out there. I would love to get in touch with her again. She can contact me through here, or tell her to find me on the Book of Face.
Does anyone have a person that meets this random jigsaw jumble of facts?
This is like a word problem.
That's what it felt like. Yeah, totally. It felt like a word problem.
Rebecca Brady has 3 daughters.
I just love that that her mom made a living doing arts and crafts. Isn't that a dream?
Isn't that the dream? And honestly, in Portland, I think it is. Yeah, everyone has a arts and crafts side hustle.
I also like that they covered so many bases with, if you know Rebecca or Becca, who used to be Brady, or possibly still is Brady.
Yeah, which I think the Honda CRX really would have made it. That's all you needed to say, because who has those?
Oh, not me.
Yeah. Oh, man. You dislocated your elbow snowboarding and got mad at me when I went through the park and hit the jumps on the way down.
That is right. That is really funny.
Oh, hey, Rebecca, wait, I'm coming. Oh, wait, hold on. Ah, yeah. Okay, all right, sorry. I'm here.
Did that guy just do a triple ollie? Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Hey, Bang, did you see that? Did you see what I did? It's okay if you did. But like, oh, man, I wish you saw it. Oh, it's good. So what's wrong with your elbow?
I think I would be happy to have something to distract me from the pain of seeing somebody do some sick snowboard jumps.
I don't think I'd be mad. Like, it's not broken. It hurts. They're gonna get here. This is sees my friend like coming after me down the ramps, doing some sweet tricks on the way down.
Todd, if you saw me black out from yelling too much at the bottom of a ski jump, would you skate? Would you ski straight to me, or would you try to do some cool things where you jump up in there and cross your skis in an X?
Blacking out is different than dislocating an elbow. If you're still like awake, I think that's
Oh, okay.
grounds for me to be like, I don't have to hurry. If you were to pass out cold, I'd probably just skip the jumps. But either way, I got to go down, right?
And is that just because you don't have an audience?
Yeah, that's part of it.
All right. All right. I'm glad to know. I just, it's hard to put ourselves in this shoe. It's easy to say, no, we wouldn't hit those jumps on the way down the ski jump to see. But,
yeah,
I don't think you could say until you're there.
Is that why they broke up?
Maybe. That was the final. Or maybe she wanted to be an arts and crafts saleswoman like her mother, and
he couldn't support it.
He couldn't. He wanted a little more stability.
Yeah.
The classic Romeo and Juliet situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say that old chestnut, that Hollywood story they keep remaking.
Tyler Perry did a version of it.
Oh yeah, and you know what? It was very thoughtful.
It was very thoughtful, thought-provoking. Some might say.
Thought-provoking. I mean, like, Jordan Peele could get a film studio, like a whole film studio.
But he hasn't though. Like he doesn't. Like I just think it's fascinating. Like Tyler Perry was like, I'm worried people won't be making these movies, so I'm gonna fucking buy everything. It's all gonna be mine. Like, did he come from money? Do you think he came from money? What's Tyler
not that
Perry's
I know of. I'm pretty sure he just grew up poor. Like I don't know. He's a god in Chicago, in Georgia. I almost said Chicago, but not that I'm aware of. I think he did it all by himself, just like Medea.
Oh damn. He had a very hard childhood. Oh
my
you're
Googling it now? Jesus.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
No, he had a very hard childhood. I'm not even going to go into it because it's very sad.
Jeez.
But let's just say Tyler Perry has overcome.
Okay.
And he fucking, that's nuts. He owns everything. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
If you want to be sad later, Google Tyler Perry's childhood, I guess.
Oh my gosh. He wrote he wrote a musical and moved to Atlanta and then spent his $12,000 life savings to put it up.
Damn.
Isn't that wild?
That's pretty great.
He just did that. Okay, sorry.
No. I think
very
Mr. Perry's
now
a very talented dude.
I've fallen into the Tyler Perry hole of Wikipedia.
Didn't even know there was one, and now I guess I'll go down it later.
And now you're there.
Now I'm there. All right, here's one for you.
Tell me about it.
Sending it your way.
I'm so excited. Okay.
I will say, I found this also through another source, so it wasn't me doing my own work. But then later, I went through actual misconnections on my own and found it there too. So really, it's like I did it myself.
You know what? Give yourself the chance first next time,
I
want to feel so much better.
Well, the thing is, you and I feel like always look up our misconnections so close to each other that we often dig from the same pile,
We're shitting where we sleep. Is that shitting where we eat? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah. So, I did what I could.
All right. Fish goddess at pet store. Saw you in the aquarium section as I stumbled by, carrying my poop bags and fungus treatment. I couldn't help noticing how stunning you were while you energetically admired those guppies. You were so dreamy as you uttered those sweet nothings to that pea puffer. I tried to talk to you, but alas, when I came back to that moist, dark fish room, you were gone. I hoped you see this because I'd do a water change with you anytime. You, cute brunette, wearing black yoga pants and a tank top. Me, creeper-looking dude in the tank aisle. PM me, in quotes.
So.
Why do you have to describe yourself as a creeper? That's not endearing.
That's never going to work, right?
That just makes me think, yes, you are a creeper, and no, I will not, quote unquote, PM you.
Does he think maybe that by doing so, by negging himself, he'll make himself look better?
Maybe?
Well, people do that,
I guess. Yeah. Some people call that self-deprecating humor. And then I ask, where's the humor, buddy?
Yeah. And the queer eye guy, what Karama would say? He'd say, stop putting up walls.
Oh my God. And then he'd take you to a place where he just put a bunch of egg crates for you to smash over. Yeah. Which honestly looked like one of the most fun Karamo exercises. Because usually Karamo's like, let me bring you to the man who shot you.
Yeah.
And that one guy was like,
who tried to have a baby with you and then you left him and I brought you together. This is
Did
my
that
Kurama
actually happen
impression.
in a later? Okay. I was just wondering if that had happened in a later season. I'm a little behind.
No, that wasn't a direct thing, but I think it was an amalgam of several things. I don't know.
Sure.
There's definitely some moments where I was like, Karamo, you shouldn't be doing this.
Are you certified for this?
Yeah, because the one you said was real, right? Like,
Yeah, no, that was a real thing. And then I wonder why Karama was certified, and I remember that he got his start on Real World.
did he? I don't know the backstory
Yes,
of any
he
of
was
the
the
queer
first.
eye.
I think he was the first out gay black man on Real World.
Was he still like as handsome as he is?
He was. He had a
Damn.
little bit more hair.
I was gonna say the hair. I bet has been like, it's
Reduced.
it's painted on. You know, it's
It looks good now. Well, are you talking about face hair or head hair?
face hair, because he
Face
doesn't have
hair-
hair right now. And know how I know that is because I saw him advertising a skincare product, and I went to it because I want to have skin like Karamo, only to find that the skin is only like bald head skin.
skin?
That is what it's for. And I was like, well, fuck.
Well, you can't very well go outright and say this is for head skin only. Could you imagine the bullying you would endure?
Yeah. But he had more hair atop his head.
I'm so sorry that you did not get the facial products you wished you had.
He looks like, you know, Luke Cage is a black character with impenetrable skin. And they're, you know, Mike Coulter does a great job, but I think Karamo might be real life Luke Cage. I
he
think
has
if you
just
shot him, it would bounce
glossy.
off.
Just glossy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good looking
Anyways,
dude.
if you have bald head skin, look up Karamo. Check it out.
Look him up.
Yeah. Bobby, now we're into queer. Bobby
Yep.
seems like he's trying to like cop Karamo's fashion a little bit, and it's not working for him in this season.
No.
Like he's wearing a lot of sequined jackets, and I'm like, that's really more Karamo's forte. And Karamo pulls it off, and buddy, I don't know that you're on that level yet, you know?
I see. Okay. Who else you got?
What other hot takes do I have? Jonathan Van Ness. Love the guy. Cannot listen to him on a podcast. Drives me fucking nuts. I've tried. I'm gonna anger some people. I should stop now. I can't make enemies in the podcasting world. Just like when he's interviewing, he does not interview people. Like he bounces his own talking off of them. And like, because like for instance, like for me, like Nicole Byer's a really good example of somebody who like is a very bubbly, energetic, infectious person who still knows how to interview. Like her podcast, like she's such a good interviewer.
And you know what? It's harder than it looks. You know, it's a skill.
It is. Oh no, there are people that are very bad at interviewing.
There are people with certain late night shows who could be better interviewers.
Ooh, hot take. We're not going to name names, but know that Talon has an enemy.
Yeah, listen, I don't think I'm going to get hired by him anyway. Because they don't hire black people on late night shows.
Boom!
Boom! Suck my dick.
Boom, boom, boom.
Anyway, back to Fish Goddess.
That's cute. Have you ever been in an aquarium store?
It's been a while. It's been a
Like,
while
not
since I was in the market for a fish.
Okay.
Why?
Like I'm talking aquarium store, not like Petco, like aquarium store.
Like a store that's just fish.
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
They're
I
cool.
just that smell. It's like the
yeah.
Splash Mountain smell.
Yeah.
I like it a little too much. You know what I'm saying?
This is not where I thought you were going to go. Okay.
Sorry, wait. Would you like to take us somewhere different?
No,
Where would you like to go?
Tell me about the smell and how much you like it.
I think it's enjoyable. I'm a fan of a fish store, and
You like that
they're
moist,
always
dark, damp cave
Yes.
energy.
they're always very dark, which I guess fish don't like likes. You know, they're underwater and stuff. Just talking about this, I want to plunge my body into ice cold ocean water. I'm so hot in my room.
It is so toasty now.
I'm so toasty.
I'm not looking forward. I think I'll much prefer a COVID winter to a COVID summer.
This summer's been a hands down bummer. But you know what? I have an inflatable pool that I will blow up this weekend if it's still hot.
Hell yeah.
You know, so there's small things.
All the small things.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. Also, poop bags and fungus is like,
Yeah, do you need poop bags for fish?
no, you
Yeah.
don't. But this was a pet store. with an aquarium section and not a aquarium store, I think.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
that would be weird. What if you like did and you just no one knew? Like, yeah, you got to pick that up. Like, what? Huh?
They're very stringy and they just kind of dissolve.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
is it gross that they swim around in it? Yeah, but there's filters, you know?
I swim around in my own poop, you know?
Um,
I pooped in a river this weekend. Okay, we're moving on.
Good for you. Okay.
Anyways.
You said what? You helped me at Mr. Bill's Smokehouse, Lincoln City. Was with my parents. We bought clam chowder and crab meat. You were so helpful and polite. Very handsome, too. Hope you see this. They're not going to see it.
They're not going to see it. I also thought we were on a bit of a fish kick, so I thought I'd,
Fish kick, huh?
Yeah, a bit of a fish kick. Also, why is it the sea life sounds so dirty? When I heard clam chowder and crab meat, I was like, woo, that's dirty.
What? I try
I
not
see
to
my-
think about the reality of eating seafood, because it is weird. You are eating a creature that has been, soaking in its own feces. And that I think attributes to the fishy taste, at least in my mind it does. So the more fishy the food, the harder I try not to think about it when I eat it. I love it, but I really, I was in New Orleans, Elena and I were with my family, and, big seafood fare there. Like, in our hotel, we'd go up the escalator, 10 feet away were these large tables with old white men who, while watching the Fox News that is playing on the hotel TVs, just sucking down oysters.
Oh, yep.
And it's just like, man, I like oysters, but I don't like seeing people eat them.
I don't like the word crab meat.
Crab meat? That's not even that gross. What?
I feel like crab meat is gross. Like saying crab meat is uncomfortable.
Well, you could say any animal meat. Is that more gross?
No, just crabs.
Cow meat, shrimp meat, clam
Don't.
meat.
Flesh.
Even I think, know what I think is gross sounding when we refer to fruits or non-meat things as having flesh or meat, like coconut meat. That's a weird one for me.
I'm less weirded by coconut meat. I'm just going to say it. Again, aren't differences what make us beautiful?
Sarah, I don't know how we ever thought we could start a podcast together.
We have too many irreconcilable differences.
I'm on another kind of kick. You were on a fish kick. I'm on a different kind of kick. See if you can
I'm
guess
excited.
what it is.
Can't wait to get kicked.
Oh, get kicks. You will get kicks by this.
And so it goes. We met. We pooped in a bag. We kissed. We fell in love. All in that order. You evaporated from the planet after that. Where is my poo bag baby? And do you want to perhaps try again? You're on a poop kick.
I'm on a poop bag kick.
You are. Wow. 2
Who would've
misconnections about
thought?
poop bags.
2 poop bag misconnections.
Who would have thought?
Listen, we promise a deep dive into misconnections on this podcast, and I think it's time for a deeper dive. And so we're going to spend the next 20 minutes on this. Okay, no, it doesn't have to be 20 minutes. But how deep can we get on this? What happened here? We met. We pooped in a bag. We kissed. We pooped in a bag implies they both pooped in the same bag, does it not?
It does. How big was the bag,
What kind of bag was it? Why were you pooping in it?
Were you in public? Were you in private? Were you camping?
I'm
'Cause
looking
if you're
at...
camping, that's good.
If you're camping, that makes sense. I'm looking at the map, and it is not a campsite. It is a public park.
It's a public park.
So, do we think that's where the pooping happened, or maybe other things? I don't know.
You also evaporated from the... Also, I wish somebody would call me their poo bag baby.
You do?
No. That would be degrading.
Yeah, it's probably... I feel like... Why are these people trying to make poop, endearing or, funny? I'm not, anti-poop. This is not an anti-poop podcast. Listen.
No.
To
We would
each their
never
own.
say that we are that.
But I just think if you're using poop to, I don't know, flirt, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
But,
to each their own, all right?
I know that's what I said, but is it working? Is it working? Has anyone ever met anyone over poop? Has anyone ever bonded someone with a new love over feces?
You know, it's one of the human pillars of life.
Like, we all do it. Like, that's what the sequel to the book should have been. Like, 1, everyone poops. 2, but we don't have to talk about it.
You know what? Until we can all talk about things that make us uncomfortable, this world isn't going to get any better, Talon.
I agree, but is poop, does it have to be so high in the list? I'd rather talk about slavery than poop. I'm just
So you'd rather it be like number 2 on the list?
Okay. Okay. Well, every episode of Craig's Existential Crisis, there's one joke that makes you want to tear your ears off.
And that wasn't it. That one was gold.
Saving it for later. What's the most romantic poop-themed meet cute that you can think of?
I can't. I don't think that's up my romantic.
Just try this mental exercise. So, like, okay, okay, 1 carnival worker and 1 carnival guest, and one of them is gotta drive one of the porta potties away. Little do they know that Sally McCarnival goer is in the porta potty, and he lifts it up with his big truck, and she tries to get out of it, and she like jumps out, and then they're both like, "Oh my god, though, could you imagine? Wow, you're cute." That's like poop adjacent, but poop isn't involved.
You thought about that so much.
I'm trying to think honestly. What cuter poop thing meet cute is there? 2 people at a dog park. Take
both
a doggy
reach for
bag
the
out.
same dog poop.
They reach for the same dog poop. And then they go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was oh my god. Oh, hi."
That has to have happened. Yeah. And if it isn't, I'm going to start doing it. I'm just going to wait around with a bag. Nobody will know I don't have a dog.
In the bushes.
I'll be like, "Oh, thought that was my dog poop." They'll be like, "Oh, where's your dog?" And I'll be like,
"Oh, no. Oh, he's around here somewhere. Anyway, what's your name?
Oh, Zebra. He's not coming. Sorry.
Oh, well, he just loves to run around so much. So, anyway,
hey,
your dog, pretty big. Must mean you got a big place or something.
That must mean you have a big place. That's cool.
That's cool. So, is there a Mrs. Poop Picker-Upper?
Yep, that's a hot meet cute right there.
That is a hot meet cute. Anyway, I may or may not have done this one, but you brought up poo bags first, so.
Did I?
No, I did. I did that, didn't
I? They were both you. Just gonna say it.
You know what?
Hey, you know what?
What?
Hey.
Hey.
I think you have a good one to end on. I think it might be time.
You know what? I think you're right.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you so much for listening this week. What?
I was just saying thank you so much also. Just oh, the fun of doing a podcast on Zoom. Not even on Zoom. I don't know why I said that. I'm just so used to it being
We're not
Zoom.
sponsored by Zoom. We're not.
Thank you so much for the listening that you've done to us, Craig's Essential Crisis. If you like what you hear, please consider leaving a rating and a review in the Apple Podcast app or anywhere you can leave a review for things. I mean, not all things. Like, it'd be weird if you reviewed us on Yelp. That would be weird. A place that makes sense to leave a rating. Consider doing it. Genuinely, if you haven't, it's something that is more helpful than any amount of advertising we could pay for. What was the last time you tried to search for a podcast? Did you look at the ratings first? If there wasn't a lot, were you a little skittish? Leave us some, and maybe other people will give us a chance. And that's all we can ask for, is for people to give us a chance. Thank you so much, all the people who have given us ratings. And if you do leave us a 5-star rating, guess what? I'm going to read it on the air. I'll say whatever.
Anything you want. It's what he said. I will not.
Yeah, Sarah will explicitly only read the 1 stars.
Yep.
No, that's not true. No one will read the 1 stars.
No, nobody will want they read those. We'll burn them.
But I'm calling you out. The last time we got a rating was February. Boom.
Ooh.
Boom.
Roasted.
Don't like that? Don't like feeling guilty?
Change it.
Take your white privilege and leave us a rating on the Apple Podcast app. I assumed you're white.
Does that apply?
If you're not white, you don't gotta do nothing. You just chill.
You just hang out.
I'm not making you do anything. White people, where you at?
If you if you ever want to submit a misconnection to us, feel free to do so through any of our social media channels, or at Craig Crypod. That's CraigCripod at gmail.com.
You gotta sing it though.
Oh, I did. You didn't hear that? That was me singing.
Sing it again. Sing it again the same way.
CraigCripod.
Nope, wasn't the same.
At gmail.com. Anyways, so you can send it to us there.
Yeah.
And we will, we love to get them. They're always a good time. We'd like to thank Rosie Sherman at Hey Shermy on Instagram for our theme song. We'd also like to use this time to plug a charity. It's something we've been doing. Just because your social media feed, I know you're hearing it from everybody, but it's good that you're hearing from everybody. Just because your social media feed's gone back to normal does not mean that the world is right and normal again. Take this as a starting off point to start being more active. Yeah. Something that people in the Portland area could be more active about. There is a Indian reservation near us. It is called the Warm Springs Indian Reservation. And here's the hot goss. They haven't had running water for a long time. And they are currently trying to raise funds to get running water onto the reservation. It's extremely important.
Think about your life without running water for a day.
It would suck dick.
I've had our apartment turn off our water for like 2 hours at a time a couple days recently for some maintenance. And I forgot, and it was the worst.
It's terrible. And they don't have any running water, not for drinking, not for showering, not for anything. So because we are all on Indigenous land, folks, here's the hot goss. We're all on Indigenous land. We are colonizers.
Stolen.
It sucks.
Did it.
Go ahead and if you have a little bit of extra money from a paycheck this month, go ahead and give a little funds to them. You can find that Warm Springs Reservation Water Fund. You go to M as in Mary, R as in Richard, G as in George, foundation.org, and then /THE-CHUUSH-fund-2.
I'll also put a link in the show notes.
We're going to put a link in the show notes, but I thought I'd say it out loud just in case anyone loves transcription.
True.
Yeah, we know we got all those transcription freaks out there. Freaks. I said freaks. Go check it out. Throw a little money their way if you can, because we should be doing that. We got to help each other out because the government's not going to help us out. We got to help each other out.
Yeah, and listen, if you're like, if you have to choose between leaving a rating for this podcast or making a donation where it counts, I'd prefer you make a donation.
Talon just up and said it.
If you're white, you got to do both, though.
Ooh, there's the catch, baby.
Boom. I see those demographics. I know who you are.
Destroying white supremacy, one call out at a time.
I just said I don't see race. And I want to make that clear. That's in very specific relation to podcast listener demographics.
I do see you're
race
colorblind?
Otherwise.
That's woke
Not
of you.
Not what I said.
Are we all one race, the human race, Talon?
No, don't you dare.
Anyways, Talon has one last absolute just zinger for me. My entire body, head to toe, is just tingling with anticipation. I'm also sweating a lot.
Because of this?
No, it's hot out. It's very hot in this room. I actually had a droplet of sweat just drip into my ear, which was a very weird sensation to wake up to earlier.
Gross. Yeah.
Did not appreciate it.
Woof. Okay, well, listen.
What's up?
Fucking hats.
I've been vamping for you.
This one to you.
I vamped so hard for you.
I'm sending you a textual message that contains this one.
That's disgusting. Are you?
I am. Boom.
There we go.
There you go. And this was sent in from our friend Warren McHenry, who, as far as I know,
really
is still...
got me.
Yeah.
I took a big breath, and then you had that interjection.
I just felt like I needed to say it, so I wasn't wrong earlier. I was right. I was just right too early.
Got it.
All right.
Can't be wrong.
Take it away.
Spiritual woodcarver wanted, Portland. You will carve a blood and guts crucifix. You will be paid.
I'm Talon Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson.
And this has been Craig's Existential Crisis.
Beep. Leave a message.
What's a blood and guts crucifix?
I'm horrified to know.